Santísima Muerte, querida Muerte, Sagrada Muerte, Padrona de los Padrones, if you grant me everything that I can dream of in this life at the moment of my death, my soul will be yours and not of God. Amen. One of my favorite and most wild undergone culture prayers, pray dedicated to Santa Muerte, or like I love to call her from what it is today topic, Santa Muerte and Outlaw perspective, La Padrona de los Padrones. I want to shock you with this one. I want to shock you right here before the first minute with the information that not until the 1980s and first 2000s we will ever see Santa Muerte connected in any way to organized crime. Exactly, you got that right. Santa Muerte has a narco saint, an outlaw saint, will come to be a thing pretty much late in our own history. Also because this holy figure that originally was for granting protection and demanded just love and devotion in exchange has extremely syncretic religious origins. It came to be from the Spaniards and the Catholic Church bringing Catholicism to the indigenous people of Americas, and not knowing anything about the culture of this population. What happened is that they brought the concept, the artistic representation of death, of the humanity caducity, in the form of a female looking like Grim Reaperess with a veil, a robe, this shite that was ready to rip the souls of people, when for the indigenous, pretty much death goddesses, gods, and gods of war were a thing. And so what happened is that for the Mediterranean Europeans, an artistic concept that had nothing to do with a supernatural being became a blend between these two cultures that started to form it into one and somehow managed to go under the radar. Actually, the first time that we even hear about Santa Muerte be Santa Muerte officially in written form, it's 1790s, when the Catholic Inquisition of Mexico City they got informed that some indigenous tribe will venerate this skeleton idol called Santa Muerte out around on the towns or in places closed, if I don't remember bad. And so what happened is that, like, rumors and voices and misinformations can be a thing, they decided to go and check, make a background check and checking if this was really a thing, which it happens to be true. They find that these skeleton idols full of offerings, sometimes they found that human rest or part of bodies, and still today in some undergone culture related to Santa Muerte has been found on shrines or dedicated places, bodies of enemies between cartels fighting each other or people in their undergone life thanking Santa Muerte that the hit was successful and they got alive rather than be the person handing up to be an offering. In some cases, it has been found on the also normal bullet with written the name of the target has a has a bag. Make the hit be successful. Make this bullet don't miss its target. Or even in between all these specific bullets, I'll empty one without no name on it, meant for everybody looking for it, looking to get one. So disclaimer right here, if you're new to the channel, this channel doesn't condone certain aspects on the undergone life. Why I am a 1% on the witch, I'm the first to say there are aspects of these lifestyles and cultures that they are nasty ones. They are part of it. But this channel will never encourage you to go and do anything of this. We all seen what happened with quitting. Don't go that road. Don't be the next one making that mistake. It won't get you to win the lottery. It won't get you to get rich in that way. No, it's not gonna happen. And so, when the Spaniards went there, they destroyed completely any trace of this worship, and for many years until the 1940s, I'm sorry, there was no trace of it be alive. Probably it was still alive, but kept, secret as an undergone religious. And in 1940s, there was the record of women in black clothes approaching this skeleton saint in a folk Catholic way, due to the synchronism that we have seen before, begging her to bring their cheating husbands and boyfriend back to them, or to punish them with death, which looked like the fair of all of justice that she could bring. So we see Santa Muerte from death current connected switched to mainly love current connected, which is fantastic how it changed. And then the years that we mentioned before, 1980s. That's the year where the first connection between organized crime or crimes or normal criminals started to pop up to the eyes of the police. There is, for example, the story of the ear chopper. That was a Mexican serial killer that will go and chop the ears of his victim and shipping them to families as a warning, and as also well, now you have some closure with the body, I guess, that when he got arrested, had only one request. I'm sorry, officer, I see where I'm going, but can I have my own Santa Muerte statue? Because for a normal devotee, Santa Muerte is just this larger-than-life charity guaranteeing extremely fast all the blessing that one will ask. Many do what is called skin sacrifices, so devoted part of their skin to her. Like here, for example, you have one. We're gonna see better in the next video that will come next week on the channel. That it's called "You Are Your Tattoos." Tails for the eyes. So, in the undergone life, imminent death. So we are talking for outlaws, like let's call it like this, even if there is a very soft line between criminals and outlaws. Criminals don't have to be outlaws, and outlaws don't have to be criminal, but there is a space for criminals to fit into the outlaws' life. Imminent death, it's pretty much a foundation energy into this occult magical culture. Be this because it is really an intense life that demands you every single time to be walking on eggshells. It's not a life for everybody. Like if you have ever heard about the 1% life, it's not the mafia, it's not the organized crime, but they are extremely intense lifestyle that a lot of time we require a person to really have to fight and making an internal work in order to be able to decide how much, even working with spirit, even with Santa Muerte in a death current aspect, how much this lifestyle will take away from his or her humanity. These are not occult cultures that they come with a lot of blinks and not a dark atmosphere with them. Pretty much this is one of the reasons why I love the idea that I'm filming in black and white. It gets so dramatic, and I really love the black and white. I'm sorry, but I really love it. So understand pretty much that for Outlaws Santa Muerte, where for everybody it's about everything, it's more for prosperity, for wealth, but it becomes more than just that. It becomes a way of moving, a way of breathing. It demands 100% committed, and it demands all the time to have pretty clear that as you are praying to her for all these things, there are gonna be other 100 people probably doing the same, and not. Because it's not mandatory, even in these cultures, that Santa Muerte is venerated by cartels, by drug traffickers, by criminals, by outlaws, nor all the outlaws, nor all criminals are actually devotees of Santa Muerte. Last time that has been a study, if I remember correctly, and memory serves me good, which sometimes it doesn't, the majority of the devotees of Santa Muerte are not into undergone culture. It might happen due to Santa Muerte be very popular in places where people are very poor. The church really don't care to help them so much because they are seen more as the outcast. They throw it out in the garbage, or the garbage too. Please, if you have felt like this by the church, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. And so people that dwells in really poverty, vertical addiction might actually be tempted to go into the undergone lives due to the promise of fast riches, which may happen. But I find out that when I started to approach Santa Muerte into a more outlaw way, she starts completely, pretty much fast, to lose the understanding of why you need all this material, all these mundane things. She just starts to lose it. She's not anymore like, oh yeah, let me help you, child, and we go from there. It's more of having a sit down where you walk in with your metaphorically gun barrels loaded, knowing where you sit with yourself, why you wanna go for this, why you think you have the requisites for achieving what you want achieving. And she will make you clear that in the moment in which greediness or loving for killing or loving for whatever twisted thing you can imagine will become your major value, she might come really for clip you. I will say that undergone cultures are the death current, has the death current, is the undergone cultures. And here why these magical paths are not meant for everybody. It wasn't a personal choice. I got brought into the 1% of life by my partner when I met him. I made friends in there, so at some point my own personal practice started to be, divided from a person that I was in places and the person that I was as a witch. So Santa Muerte told me bring them together, and from motherly, loving, understanding, and flexible spirit that will understand if I will be too tired to attend to my dues, pay attention to her, for her it was fine, or I'm in your heart, so I know that everything is okay. She turned it into this real death energy, where her own voice, way to talk, ice cold pitch, severe and grounded one, requiring me to asking her for maybe an advice and just give me a tip of iceberg or some cryptic messages like you're gonna be tested at these parties or in this place, and at the moment of how am I gonna be tested, getting nothing, because she becomes in this way a culture of hurting, of you having to put into the efforts every single moment, because she might guide you and let you help with intuition to get things that might bring you far into life, might bring you keep you safe or not. At the same time, she will always also look at you as somebody that is ready to go. So in an occult way, outlaw occult way, it really becomes a culture of death current. And the death current itself is very intense to work with because it changes even your own energy. You might notice that when you start to work heavily with this energy current, the people on the road open up. People exit your life because you become too much of an intense person. And if, like me, somebody thought that I think that I was Spanish, I'm actually Italian, but Spanish and Italians and Mexicans, we are there. We are there at intensity as people. If you are yet a lot for people, this type of Santa Muerte approach will intensify it to the maximum level. So it will force you and require you to really know, do I have it what it takes? Because she will demand full attention and she won't care about you be tired, about you don't have the possibility to bring an offering. If I got told something by spirit, it is if you can't bring an offering, then you're gonna become the offer, and you are gonna become the one that is gonna have to go through a hang around phase and then prospecting phase. This is gonna be other videos coming to the channel. So I wanna make it clear that the information in this video are just entertainment ones. So please don't use this video for anything related, or you're gonna be fully responsible for it. I can tell you this. Let me know in the comment what is your perception about Santa Muerte from an outlaw. What do you think about this video? If you need a reading or a session with me, or you want to learn more, hit my website imperialghost.com, or also send me a message, even through the Facebook page. Some people does that and I really love it. And I'm gonna see you next week. Bye guys.